if children see one parent laughing, and sometimes they see another parent laughing, or they don't see that other parent laughing, they don't get the sense of this joyful feeling in the home. They may have a happy mother or a happy father, but they don't get the sense of a joyful home. And I'll explain where this becomes a little problematic. There was a young man, middle-aged man, that I was speaking to about his teenage daughter who had started to already do the whole I don't want to be sneeze thing, and she was already showing signs of not being that interested in frumkeit. And, at first they wrote this off to just being a teenager, but then they saw the next child following suit, a boy, not even a girl, and the next son following suit. And they started to question what they were doing wrong. They had a visitor, a relative who wasn't from, and this man mentioned to this relative that he was concerned because his kids were, kind of looking like they weren't so interested in frumkeit. And the relative was a wise older woman, and she said, tell me, do you feel like you have a loving home? He said, yes, very loving home. My wife and I will constantly tell our children that we love them, both verbally and non-verbally. We really do, it's a very calm home, we don't yell. She said, what about when it comes to religious things, describe how your home is. So he gave a big sigh, and he said, it's just very hard. We're on shlichus. Money's tight. It's hard work. We're drained. We're really drained. And what can I say? And this relative said to him, well, your kids know it. And if they don't feel the joy in your religious life, why would they want to continue this kind of a life? Why would they want this for themselves? So when he told this to me, I was like, that is a very powerful lesson, because we don't realize how much the joy in our home gives our kids subliminal messages about what it means to be frum, and whether it is a positive thing to be a Hasidic person, or whether it's oppressive and depressing and frustrating and angst-producing. And if we're giving that message, then we have to really stop, look ourselves in the mirror and ask how we can change the message. Help your kids, give you a little bit of help, and so that it's not so stressful, is you can take a bunch of Post-it notes and write tasks on them. What does not be Post-it notes? Could be things that you put up with magnets on your refrigerator. Write tasks on them and tell your children that they can choose one task per day. They choose that task. By the end of the day, it has to be done. In other words, before bedtime. When it's done, they write their name on it. If they're too young to write their name, they can have a symbol or something that they write, color a circle on it, and put it into a box. And every task that's been done at the end of the day, in other words, every paper that you have, each child put in a paper, that child gets a prize ticket, $1, depending on the age of the children.